The afternoon sun hung low over the quiet streets of Lanford, casting long and spindly shadows across the worn wooden porch of the house. Inside, the atmosphere was thick with the scent of aged coffee and the hum of a family that had never quite mastered the art of silence. Darlene stood near the kitchen doorway, her arms crossed, waiting for her father and the children to prepare for the trip to the hospital. "Hey! Hey! Jeff! Hey! Dad!" Darlene called out as her brother and father shuffled through the living room. Dan looked up, his eyes weary but kind. "You coming with us to visit Becky at the hospital?" he asked his son. "No, I cannot," Jeff replied, shifting his weight as he checked his watch. "I am on a break from work right now, but I got something for Becky if you would be so kind as to give it to her. The store sells this really great lanolin cocoa butter for stretch marks." Darlene leaned against the doorframe, a small smirk playing on her lips. "Oh, that is sweet. After everything she has been through, it is nice to remind her she is all stretched out." Jeff shrugged, looking a bit sheepish. "I looked in our baby section, and it was either that or something for cracked nipples." Dan winced slightly at the thought. "They crack?" he asked, his voice filled with genuine surprise. "I really have to go," Jeff said, heading toward the door. "My manager is in a terrible mood today because he tanked his college entrance exams." As the door closed behind Jeff, Darlene turned back to the room. "Becky is getting something useful, but we should bring something for little Beverly as well, like a stuffed animal or a soft blanket." Dan sighed, looking down at his hands. "I do not know. It is a premature baby. A mini baby that is somehow bigger than your own kid? That is going to be a bit depressing." Suddenly, the sharp ring of Darlene's telephone interrupted them. Dan reached over and picked it up. "Darlene, it is your phone. It is Mark Skule." Darlene frowned, taking the device. "Oh, great. Is he in trouble, or does the girl with the pink eyes have lice now?" She pressed the phone to her ear. "Hello? Hi, Principal Reynolds. How are you?" There was a long pause as she listened. "Oh, okay, that is not good. Yeah, we will be there tomorrow." She hung up and looked at Dan. "What is he in trouble for now?" Dan asked. "Spreading too much sunshine everywhere he goes?" Darlene looked at Leo and Kira, who were hovering nearby with curious expressions. Leo was 14 years old, a brilliant but shy inventor with messy brown hair and square glasses, wearing his forest green utility vest. Kira was 12, an energetic adventurer with a high ponytail and a red bandana. "Why do you guys not head out to the car and give us a second?" Darlene suggested, once they were out of earshot. She turned to Mark. "So, we have to go see the principal tomorrow, because he is in a terrible mood. Apparently, your school has a strict no public display of affection rule. And somebody posted a picture of you kissing your friend Austin at school." Leo poked his head back in. "Austin wins at everything. And now he has a boyfriend? I hate you," he joked before Kira pulled him away. Darlene ignored him and focused on Mark. "So, Austin is your boyfriend? How come you did not tell me?" Mark shrugged, looking at his shoes. "I do not know. I guess he is my boyfriend. When we found out they were going to start serving personal pizzas at lunch, we got so excited that we kissed." Dan chuckled softly. "I get that. Personal pizzas are a big deal." Darlene held up a hand. "Well, there is a longer talk to come. But have you guys done anything more than kiss?" "No, just the kiss," Mark insisted. "And that was the first time. He only told me he was gay last week." Dan leaned forward. "Is Austin the dark, brooding one or the kid that is always smelling his hand?" "Neither one, Grandpa," Mark said, rolling his eyes. "All right," Darlene said, standing up. "Well, we will deal with this tomorrow. But in the meantime, no more public displays of affection. You are at school to learn, not to kiss." "Okay. Caught it," Mark replied, as Darlene moved to grab her purse. Dan pulled Mark aside. "So, you think you are ready for a relationship? Huh, pal? I think so," Mark said. Is there anything I should know? Dan thought for a second. I would just say you are 12 years old. Do not sign anything. And just treat him the way you would want to be treated. I guess. Mark nodded. Austin says I do not listen enough. Dan patted his shoulder. Does he also say you drink too much? Because that talk is coming in a few years. At the hospital, the atmosphere was sterile and quiet. Becky sat in her bed, looking exhausted. Jackie was by her side. How are we doing? Darlene asked as she walked in. I have been trying to pump every couple of hours. But nothing is happening, Becky said, her voice trembling. I have always been able to count on my body. But it feels like it is betraying me now. Have you tried to express the milk by hand? Darlene asked. Are you kidding? Becky snapped. I have been squeezing myself like an entitled frat boy. Dan stepped in. Take some people longer. Everything will be okay. Jackie turned on him immediately. As Becky life and birth coach, I need to inform you that your constant reductive reassurances are not appreciated. She understands that the milk contains colostrum, which carries the antibodies that preemies need to fight disease. She knows that she is playing with the baby life, so just let her be. Could you? Dan backed away slowly. I got your back. Jackie. Hey. Darlene looked at Becky. Hey. Did you see the baby yet? What do you mean? Becky asked. Do not sugarcoat it. I have seen her. So you can be honest. Okay. Well, I have seen cuter babies in jars at the county fair, Darlene said with her typical bluntness. Dan tried to soften the blow. It is okay. Babies do not always start out pretty. Darlene looked like Yoda when she was born. You had dumbbell ears, Jackie added, pointing at Dan. And DJ started out pretty, Dan said. So be careful what you wish for. Darlene sat on the edge of the bed. Hey, Beck. You know, you have been up for 2 nights. It is hard for your body to work when you are tired and stressed. You need sleep. When Gina was in the hospital, they had a lactation specialist. Maybe you can get one of those. This is a county hospital. Becky sighed. People pay their bills here with chickens. Dan perked up. We have chickens. You do not have chickens. Darlene reminded him. I have chickens. Jackie insisted. The next morning, the sun rose over a household still tangled in secrets. Darlene was in her room when a soft knock sounded. David was there, looking as if he had never left. Darlene, I need to tell you something, he whispered. What? What did you need to tell me? She asked, her heart racing. That, he said, leaning in. Get back upstairs, Darlene hissed, pushing him away as she heard footsteps. That could be my dad or the kids. Jackie walked into the room a few minutes later, looking suspicious. Did I hear David? Yes. He slept over last night. Again, Darlene admitted. Oh, you were taking some big chances here, Jackie warned. If the kids find out and tell Ben, your little party is over. It is okay, Darlene said. We are quiet. And he knows to stay in my room until my dad and the kids are gone. Suddenly, a loud knock sounded at the front door. Oh, crap. It is Ben. Darlene scrambled to the door. Ben. Hey. What are you doing here? Ben stood there with a small smile. Oh, that is funny. In my head. You just said. Hey, Ben. What a pleasant surprise. I am sorry, Darlene said. I just did not expect you. We are just about to leave for the hospital. So, thanks for coming. Thanks for the jelly flat. Wait, Ben asked, looking a bit confused. Are you rushing me out? Or is something else going on? No, of course not. Come on in, Darlene said, stepping aside. Okay, Ben said, walking into the kitchen. Say what you need to say. I was just in the neighborhood and thought you might like this. Because you probably do not have time for cooking right now. It is half vegan and half delicious. Okay. Thank you, Darlene said. Kiss me and go. Ben laughed. Wow. It is like Casablanca in here. You, sir, have besmirched my daughter, and now you must marry her. I accept your cold-cut dowry. Ben joked. Dan, should you not be at work? Oh, one of my crew guys accidentally peed on some wires, and we lost power. Dan explained. It blew him right out of his shoes. How are you doing, Dan? Ben asked. He is great. Everything is great. Apparently. I am great. All right. Let us say goodbye on the porch. Ben is on his way to see Becky. As they stood on the porch, Ben looked at Darlene. So, you know, the other day, I told you that I thought you seemed stressed by the commute. But you seem just real anxious to me today. Have you ever considered talking to a therapist? Darlene let out a sharp laugh. Well, I have all that discretionary income lying around. Maybe I will try therapy after that Tuscan wine safari I am planning. Oh, come on, Ben said. Most therapists charge on a sliding scale. It is something to think about. Bye. Love you. Miss you. Mean it. Darlene watched him walk away. Oh, maybe twice a week to start, she whispered. She turned to go back inside and found David standing in the hallway, wearing a bathrobe. David, you cannot be down here like that, she hissed. My dad is home. If he sees you in that robe, he is going to know we had sex. I am just washing some clothes, David said, looking innocent. He is not coming out until spring. No, Darlene said. It is only half vegan. We have got about 2 minutes until he hits the broccoli and comes screaming out of there. We are making a big deal out of nothing. Get dressed. Now. Oh. They are wet and cold, David complained. Okay. I am stuck, Darlene said, struggling with a laundry basket. I will help, David said. You take the left. I will take the right. No. 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 Wait. Let me do it, Darlene said. You do not know where everything goes. Go. All right. I love you. And I will see you at the principal office at 4. Do not forget. Yeah. Bye, David said, disappearing upstairs. Jackie walked into the room. You cannot make me feel worse about myself than I already feel right now, Darlene told her. At least let me try, Jackie said. Look, I know it is wrong, but I love David. And I love Ben. And I have to decide who I am going to spend the rest of my life with. Well, let us talk about it, Jackie suggested. And maybe I can help you pick Ben. Ben challenges you. He is financially stable. He will be a fantastic partner. David is sweet, Darlene argued. But you have already gone down that road. He is the father of my children. And he is really stepping up and showing up for us. So buy him a #1 dad shirt as a parting gift. Jackie snapped. And then you go be with Ben. And the sex has got to be fantastic. You get to rub that beard all over your body. Darlene made a face. David is familiar and soft. And having sex with him is like being with a nice, fluffy marshmallow. Jackie paused. David has a beard too. Does he? Though? Darlene asked. Later that afternoon, Mark sat between Darlene and David in the principal office. Is Austin's mother going to join us? Mark asked. Well, she has not joined us in 8 years. So the odds are against it, Darlene said. Can we get this going? Yeah. I think we can take care of this in a couple of minutes, Principal Reynolds said. David leaned forward. This whole thing is crazy. I would just like to make an opening statement. As Mark's father, I am no longer taking a sideline position on his upbringing. I am now fully in the picture. And as such, I too think this whole thing is crazy. I am sorry, the principal said. But we have rules about public displays of affection. Mark and Austin are getting 3 days of detention. What? Darlene asked. Is this because they are 2 boys? Because when I was here, kids kissed all the time. My sister Becky kissed her teacher. And she did not get detention. She got an A. We do not differentiate on the basis of gender. The principal insisted. The door opened, and Austin's grandmother walked in. Looking stern. Well, you are not punishing my grandson. Austin does not kiss boys. Mark kissed him. Well, that is not what I heard. Darlene said. Is that what Austin told you? Yes. The grandmother said. That is not what happened. Mark said. His voice quiet. Yes. It is. Austin said. Walking in. I was just in line for pizza. And you came up and kissed me. That is not true. Darlene said. Mark does not lie. That is not how he was raised. David chimed in. I was not there for a lot of it. But I am pretty sure. Who are you going to believe? My kid or the boy with the nail polish? Hey! Darlene snapped at David. Wearing nail polish does not make you a liar. Now, Austin, I know this is hard, but you just have to tell the truth. Do not talk to him. The grandmother said. I am telling the truth. No, you are not. Mark said, looking at Austin. You said you liked me. Well, I do not. Austin said. Austin, wait outside. The grandmother ordered. She turned to Darlene. You raise your kid however you want. But I have got enough on my plate raising Austin by myself. I do not need your kid confusing him into thinking he is something he is not. Hey, you know what? Darlene said. It is not contagious. Lady, your kid is not going to catch being gay any more than he is going to catch being a cranky old wench like you. I do not need to listen to this. The grandmother said. No. Yes. You do. Darlene said. Maybe you do not want to accept the fact that your grandkid might be gay. But you scaring him into denying it is just going to ruin his life. Well, the principal said. This feels like a natural stopping point. Maybe you can take the progress you have made and continue over coffee somewhere. No. No. We are not going for coffee. Darlene said. We are very angry right now. Unless you wanted coffee? Dan asked. No. I do not. She snapped. No. She does not. Dan agreed. Outside. Darlene walked with Mark. Hey, buddy. You ready to talk? The principal called. No one is getting detention. Okay. Mark said. Darlene noticed his hands. Going for a new color? Nope. Mark said. I'm not going to wear nail polish anymore. How come? Just tired of it. That is all. Darlene sighed. Today was really bad. Huh. I cannot believe Austin said those things. He won't even talk to me now. Well, you know that is because of his grandmother. Not because of you. Darlene said. Yeah. And his grandma is old. Mark said. I heard her coughing in the hallway. One more bad flu season, and you guys are back together again. Hey, do not be mad at Austin. Darlene said. He is caught in a really bad situation. I do not care. Mark said. I am mad at him. And I am mad at you. What? Why? You told me I should not hide who I am, and look what happened. Mark said, his eyes filling with tears. Yeah, but you should not hide who you are. Darlene said softly. Austin has to do that. You do not want to live like that. Right? My life would be so much easier if I was not gay. Mark whispered. Hey, stop it, Darlene said, pulling him into a hug. This is not your problem. This is their problem. Forget what I said about not being mad. Austin is a jerk for turning on you, and his grandma is a jerk for not caring how much she is hurting the two of you. You should be mad, and you should stay mad because you are amazing and everybody else sucks. Is liking someone always going to be this hard? Mark asked. Oh, you mean falling in love? Darlene asked. Yeah. Love is freaking brutal. Just take your dad. I thought he was my soulmate, and then he left for 9 years. There are probably other examples. Yeah, but it is a good one. Mark said. Right. Darlene agreed. I think we may have gotten off topic. What is important is that someone wonderful will eventually come along. You know, I think the hard part is that you know who you are at a very early age. And that is great. But until the other kids catch up, it might be a little lonely. Well, what do I do until then? Mark Hoy. Well, that is where you are lucky because you have a really fun family. Kira and Leo ran up to them. Get off me. You weirdos. Mark joked as they hugged him. No. Kira said. Do you feel better now? Leo asked. Yes. I love myself. I am glad I am gay. Leave me alone. Mark laughed. Darlene and David stood together, watching them. We did it. David said. We did it. Nice job. Lefty. You were always my favorite. Nurse. Dan yelled from inside the house. Wow. David said. Yeah. Poor Mark. Huh. No. I am talking about us. Darlene said. We just parented the crap out of that kid. Yeah. We did. David agreed. We are kicking ass as parents. We are having a great sex life, and we love each other. Let us go tell the kids we are getting back together tonight. I know it'll cheer Mark up. It is still too soon. Darlene said. Look. David said. We just told Mark not to live a lie, and here we are sneaking and hiding from our own family. This has got to stop. Well, we are still working on our relationship. Darlene said. Just do not get ahead of yourself. If there is a reason we cannot be back together, then say it. Otherwise, I want a decision now. Okay. All right. Darlene said. Here we go. There is something I have to tell you. You need to go to therapy. Therapy? David asked. I thought we were doing great. No. Think about it. Darlene said. It makes sense. I mean, we have issues. We are on again. Off again. You need professional help. Okay. I will do whatever it takes for us to be together. David promised. Great. Darlene said. Look. You have to go too. I would rather not. David said. If you do not go, I do not go. And we tell the kids everything right now? Darlene threatened. Okay. Fine. I will go. David relented. Okay. I feel really good about this. Darlene said. Heck yeah. You do. Jackie said, appearing from the kitchen. So, Kai, when you and David finish therapy and he moves in with you and Ben, are you and the rest of the Mormons going to raise a barn in the backyard? You know what? I may have been forced into this, but it is probably the only way I will know if David and I have a chance of making this work. Yeah. Jackie said. Here is the other thing that is going to happen. After about BA sessions, that therapist is going to know that you are lying your ass off, and what you are doing is going to be totally exposed to David. Huh. Darlene said. Well, that is not good. Maybe it will at least just buy me enough time to figure out which man I am going to love forever, and which man is never going to trust women again and probably die alone. Are you saying that if you pick David, Ben will die alone? Jackie asked. Because I am here to tell you that there are a lot of women who would shamelessly throw themselves at a guy like that. Just stop. It is not funny anymore. It is just creepy. At the hospital, Becky sat by the incubator, watching her baby. You know what they say? She whispered. A watched preemie never grows. I let her down. Becky told Dan as he sat beside her. She is getting the nutrition she needs. Dan said. That is all that matters. I Koi Kung finally got colostrum and I dropped it. Becky sobbed. She is not nursing, so we are not bonding. She probably won't even call me mom. She will just be like, hey, Becky, hand me that rattle. I do not know what to do. She is never going to love me. What? Dan Hoy, you think your baby is not going to love you? Do you know all the awful things we did to you, Kai, when you were a baby? Well, I remember you having Darlene. Becky said. That was pretty bad. Once we left you on a bus and you went all the way to Navy Pier. Dan confessed. We used a stroller we found in an alley and it folded up on you. And we laughed because we were high. The point is, you still love us, don't you? Well, I am going to need a little help with the baby, so I will say yes. Becky said. Thanks, Dad. So stop worrying. Dan said. You are going to fall short. Everybody does. And so what? You had a preemie. Did you really want a super healthy, strong kid? Puny little kids are so much easier to keep up with. And you are going to need that advantage because you are old. I am old. Becky agreed. We can play Sleeping Beauty, Jackie said. Walking in. You be Aurora. I will be Maleficent. I will start. You jump in Kai when you feel it. No. You will not be woken Cho Den Kai until you have been kissed by a handsome prince. Hey, Jackie, Ben said, walking into the room. Oh. Hi. Ben. Oh. I am so sorry. Ben said. You came to see the baby. I did not mean to interrupt your performance. No. I was just amusing the baby. Jackie said. You mind if I sit with you? Ben hoy. Well. No law against sitting. Jackie said. You know, if somebody walked in right now, they would think we were just two parents looking at our baby. Ben said softly. She does have your eyes. No. It is not right. Jackie whispered. I cannot do it. She turned away, the weight of the secrets suddenly feeling very heavy.